Like the title of the video says, we're going to be covering Loki's second ability, Invisibility. Now, Invisibility is probably Loki's outright best ability. It's extremely simple. It has a drain of 50 energy, and it has a duration of 12 seconds. It is not considered channeled, so we can recover energy through all means while it is active. This basically means that drain and duration are going to be incredibly helpful for this ability, and as he doesn't have a lot of useful abilities, to be honest, there aren't that many things he can really do outside of grabbing something from the helmet system. You're going to be leaning very heavily on invisibility for defense, and sometimes even could be for offense. So invisibility is going to be really powerful, and it's kind of what makes Loki Loki. So the drain of 50 isn't honestly that bad. By the time it runs out, if you even have a little bit of duration, you should have recouped that drain. You're not a heavy caster frame, so you should be able to maintain this with very high uptimes with only a little bit of investment, which means you can build something around the helmet a little bit more strong, and you don't have to full invest in this invisibility. Now, that being said, there are some quirks to this invisibility. For one thing, you cannot recast it while it is currently active. That means you cannot refresh its duration. Now, in addition to that, you'll see ability is in use. In addition to that, it does have a cast time, so you will 100% be vulnerable for a brief moment every so often, as you can see there. So it does have kind of like a little tiny hole in its absolute defense. Now, in addition to that, there are some more interesting little workings here. So if I switch weapons, I'm going to pull out my twin Gurkhatas here, and they obviously know where I am. I'm going to pop invisibility once they hit me, and they're going to think I am where I was. They'll shoot at that location, etc, etc. Now, when I become visible, they'll immediately know where I am. So let's go ahead and see that. So they're going to run over there, they know I'm there. But if I fire a non-silenced weapon, they're going to think I'm where I was when I shot. So you can reposition enemies from this and pick off enemies one by one. Now, that is pretty defensive. Even without having a silenced weapon or silenced solution, it's very easy to maintain your defense when you're invisible. So don't think you have to use a silenced weapon. Now, that being said, if you pull out a silenced weapon like the Baza, they shouldn't know where you are. So see, they're not running towards anywhere, they're kind of randomly looking around. Just like that. So he's walking over there, he has no idea. Doing this over here. He's still heading that way. So they don't really, even if they look like they know where you are, it's really usually just random with any sort of silenced weapon. Now, that being said, there is an augment for Loki. I can go ahead and equip it now. You have hushed invisibility. Basically, all weapons, while you have invisibility, become hushed. They basically become suppressed. Now, this is a little weird because it only works with invisibility. So this is a skill augment. It is not an invisibility augment. So it's important to know that distinction. So if you get invisibility from something else, like a arcane or something, it doesn't give you this feature. It is only the ability invisibility that makes all of your weapons hushed. So just to cover it real quick, we can see that the enemies will not react to our presence when we have the twin Gurkhatas out. So I'm behind them, just like this, and they have no idea. Now, even though these weapons are hushed, you will actually notice, and it's a little, I don't want to say disingenuous, but it's a little misleading, because even if you don't have the augment on, and you go invisible, everything does sound kind of distorted. It does sound like you're muffled, right? But you're not. So just keep in mind, even though it sounds like it isn't unless you have the augment or you're using a legitimately silenced weapon. Now, There are some weird things that this allows you to do. It allows you to hide from like security cameras a little bit better. Certain traps won't activate on you, things of that nature. So just keep in mind, this does have some additional small little perks and benefits depending on what kind of mission you're running, where you are, that kind of thing. But overall, this is a very simple ability that does something very powerful. If I have missed anything or misrepresented anything, be sure to let me know in the comment section below, and thanks for watching.